On the evening of September 22, 2010, a wallet and cell phone were found near the midpoint of the George Washington Bridge belonging to 18-year-old Tyler Clementi, a quiet violinist just 3 weeks into his freshman year at Rutgers University. What followed wasn't just a tragedy, it was a stark exposure of how digital intrusion, social indifference, and delayed accountability can converge with irreversible consequences. Tyler had spent his final days navigating a collision between his desire for authentic connection and the violation of his most basic right, privacy. Days earlier, on September 19th, he'd asked his roommate, Darun Ravi, for private use of their dorm room, a simple, reasonable request. Instead, Ravi remotely activated his webcam from a friend's room across the hall, streamed live footage of Tyler sharing an intimate moment with another man, and then tweeted to over 150 followers, "I saw him making out with a dude. Yay." Humiliated and alarmed, Tyler discovered the post and began monitoring Ravi's online activity, only to see him plan a second viewing party 2 nights later, even inviting others to watch via iChat between 9:30 p.m. and midnight. Desperate to regain control, Tyler filed a formal complaint with his resident advisor, unplugged Ravi's computer to stop the stream, and sent a detailed email describing how his dignity had been stripped away, not by violence, but by voyeurism disguised as humor. That same night, after rehearsing with the university orchestra, where he played violin with focus and grace, he walked onto the bridge and posted one final message online. His death was not caused by who he was, but by the crushing weight of exposure in a culture that still treats LGBTQ+ intimacy as spectacle rather than humanity. Investigators later uncovered that Ravi had researched Tyler online before they even met, mocked his modest background, fixated on his sexuality, and treated his private life as entertainment. Though no explicit recording was made, the act of remote surveillance and the public shaming that followed created a climate of fear Tyler felt he couldn't escape. Legally, Ravi was convicted of bias intimidation, invasion of privacy, and witness tampering. Not murder, but the verdict sparked national debate. Can cruelty without physical contact still be lethal? While some dismissed the case as just a prank, others saw it for what it was, a modern betrayal of trust in the digital age. Tyler's parents, Joe and Jane Clementi, transformed their grief into advocacy, co-founding the Tyler Clementi Foundation to combat bullying in schools, workplaces, and faith communities. New Jersey responded with one of the nation's strongest anti-bullying laws, mandating staff training, anonymous reporting, and LGBTQ+ inclusion. Rutgers established the Tyler Clementi Center for Diversity Education, embedding his name into its mission of equity. And yet, over a decade later, his story remains urgently relevant. In an era of smart devices, hidden cameras, and viral humiliation, privacy is no longer guaranteed by closed doors, but by conscience. Tyler wasn't seeking attention, he was seeking safety. He practiced violin for hours not to perform, but to feel seen on his own terms. He gardened, cooked, cycled, and quietly longed for 3 close friends, not fame, not drama, just belonging. His final act wasn't weakness, it was the tragic endpoint of a system that failed to intervene when a young man signaled distress through policy requests, forum posts, and frantic checks of his roommate's Twitter feed. Today, we honor Tyler not by sensationalizing his pain, but by asking, who in our lives might feel watched, exposed, or unworthy of privacy? And more importantly, what will we do when we see it happening? Because in the end, Tyler's story isn't just about a webcam or a tweet. It's about the sacred boundary between public and private, and the human cost when we forget that seeing someone doesn't give us the right to watch them.